I don't know who made the rule, but you guys need to let me catch the person. What made the rule that a woman must be married at 30? I know what they mean, like, oh, 30 years of living on earth, you should at least be with someone and be married and have kids. And I totally agree. If I had my way, trust me, I'd be married by now with probably 3 kids. But if you're a single woman in your 30, you're not married, you don't have kids, you're not dating, I need you to sit with me because let us have grown woman conversation. Hi, my name is Firewoman and I am your absolute girly girly. This is not supposed to be a podcast. This thought just dropped in my mind and I'm like, hmm, I want to talk about this because I feel like there's a lot of women in their 30s that is also experiencing this thing that I am experiencing. And I promise you, it's not funny. First of all, I'm out here to say I am not pressured. In any way, I see beautiful people and I clap for them genuinely. And that's only because I've come to understand that we all are running different races. And I know that my life, my story, my script is totally different from somebody else. So please don't look at this and think I'm pressured and think I'm heartbroken or something, something, something. I feel like this is the best season of my life because I'm getting to know myself even more. I'm growing, I'm glowing, I'm absolutely self aware, and I'm so damn daring because you should know who you're coming to me. So when I say I'm firewoman, not just by a word, okay, that's actually my name. It's an acronym of my name, but that is me in every word. So today I want us to talk about the unspoken pressure on single women in their 30s who have no kids, who have no husband. Honestly, the pressure is there. You know, when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, those aunties that they used to talk about. Some few days ago, I woke up, I'm like, oh my god, I'm that auntie now. Oh, Jesus, save me. Anyways, even being an auntie, I feel absolutely happy being the auntie who is really bubbling. Anyways, I want us to talk about so many things, not just the unspoken pressure. There's so many things to it, there's so many angles to it. The part of the societal expectation. I don't know who made the rule, but you guys need to let me catch the person. What made the rule that a woman must be married at 30? I know what they mean, like, oh, 30 years of living on earth, you should at least be with someone and be married and have kids. And I totally agree. If I had my way, trust me, I'd be married by now with probably 3 kids. But God knows best, and I'm still living my best life. Anyways, societal expectation. I want to first touch base on that, and I want to say that. Do you believe that? I don't think there's a reason why a woman should be married in her 20s. I'm not advising against it. Of course, you should if you can, and you find someone who absolutely adores you, you should. But I feel like if I've been married way in the past, I would have divorced because I was stubborn, I was hot headed, and I didn't even know myself. I think the realization of who I am just came in within 3, 4 years ago, and I've become audacious about myself, about who I am, about what I'm capable of, about what I can do, and what I can achieve. I feel like every year comes with something new. By the way, I'm a 31. I wanted to say 32 because my birthday is February and today is December 28th, 27th, I'll be 28, 28, yeah. And I want to say 32, but I'm not 32 yet, so 31. And the audacity, the authenticity is just coming in. I'm just discovering who I am, and I promise you, I wouldn't have even married a man that knew God that much because I was just a passive Christian um those years. So now I can say I'm an active Christian. I know who I am, I know what I am, I know what Christ called me, I know what He has said about me, I know what He said concerning me, I know what He's saying on me currently, I know what He has said it for the future, I know what I know the plan, the purpose, and even though it get bumpy along the road, I know that He who is leading me is faithful to lead me to the right destination. But you see, what I just said now came a few years ago, which would have crashed. So first of all, first thing I want to say is that in every thing there is one thing I think about is that there's either a blessing or there's a lesson to be learned. When something happens to me, I look at it as from the blessing point of view and the lesson point of view, and I'm like, okay, no wonder this happened. No wonder it didn't happen like this. And so one of my favorite person used to say something like, life is lived forward and understood backwards. And as you live forward, but then you now start understanding, oh, this is why this thing happened at this time. Oh, this is why it never worked. Oh, this is why. And that's one thing I really love about myself, how I'm able to just pick those lessons in every situation and move on with it. Like, you know what, let's just move. And I think that's one of the things we women should cultivate in 2026, where we are audacious, we are forward moving, and we are just keep moving. When something happens, we are allowed to fall, we are allowed to cry, we are allowed to feel numb, but don't stay there. It's after you feel that, you can get up on your feet and just move ahead and move forward and keep moving to the destination. So talking about that family expectation, for me, my family have been a little bit on my neck. I mean, but now everybody knows I'm stubborn, so everybody's just calm with me. Because if you come and ask me, ah, you, when are we eating your rice? I'll be like, my sister, when you cook it. Because it is not me you're gonna put under the pressure of eating rice when you can actually cook it in your house. A lot of people don't even care about what is happening in the marriage or about you guys. They just care about the groove, about the people coming, the celebration of, do you get? So I've come to a point whereby I know exactly who I am, and I'm looking for someone who I can easily compliment with everything God has put inside of me, my nurturing spirit, my leadership spirit, and all of that. And I feel like a lot of men need to learn how to lead a leader. Because I've seen so many things happen, and I keep telling myself, men are scared of being with a woman who is audacious, who can lead, who is forward thinking. I mean, this is a diversion, by the way. There's this beautiful two people in my church. There's this lady I just see from far in my church, and I really love her. I mean, from far, yeah. And then I mean, while I was doing maturity class, I saw this brother too. Then recently this year, I started seeing them move closer together, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on with these two? I mean, from far now. And I was rooting for them. That's why you should not ship the ship that you don't know where the ship is going. The coordinates of the ship, I did not know. I was just shipping the ship. I was like, oh my god. And everybody around me, then you see, there's these two people I see in church. They look so good together. I pray it leads to something. Tell me why this guy recently got engaged. I think he's married now to somebody else, to another lady. Honestly, it was like dating down for him, because this lady I used to see him with had a car. She's light, she's pretty, she has a good carriage. It looks like she has a life going on together. I don't know the other lady, I don't know her, but she just looks like a random woman. And it reminded me of something one lady said, like, men only go for women that they feel like would accept them, like that, and women they feel like they can't. I don't know, Brian. But I still tell myself, like, I hope I find a man who can have me, challenge his mind, lead a leader. Because a lot of men want to lead, but they don't know how to lead a leader. And sometimes when you're dealing with a woman who's a CEO, who's an entrepreneur, who have people, there's also a level of wisdom that you need to come in with. Right now, I'm not talking about the woman's role. So, while that is on the side, let's talk about the body of the woman after she's 30, because I'm new into the fold and nobody told me what I am going through. Nobody told me that once I'm 30, my body will change again. I mean, you guys said this. What can you say? You guys didn't say it like it was a serious issue like this. Because it's a serious issue. If you're in your 20s and you're watching this video, girl, there's so many things that's not spoken about. I saw major changes in my body. I don't know if it's so many things I want to talk about on this podcast, but I believe it's going to be watched by women, right? It's crazy. First of all, it was random things. I'm not the regular heavy bleeder. I'm not the kind of person who my period is heavy and heavy like that. I'll scream. Of course, I have cramps. Even the cramps is not regular. Some months is cramp free. Some months I have mild cramp. Some months, it might be a little bit, and some months since this year, it can be crazy intense. It can be heavy bleeding. It can be me. And then let's talk about the sweating. Guys, I sweat a lot. Any little thing is like I'm overeating from inside out. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it's a thing that started happening to me the moment after I clocked 31. Then what other thing? Yeah, the tenderness on my boobs. There's no reason why. Things I don't used to feel, appetite, sleep patterns, so many things that I can go on and on to talk about, but nobody talks to us about how your body will change as a woman the moment you're over 30, Abby. And this brings me to the point where I want to talk about our health check. I feel like this is the part, once a woman clocks 30, it's the time when you need to be really, really self-aware. I mean, before I used to look at it's just a number. Yes, it's just a number, but it's also an indication that you need to check. If you've been using a car for the past 30 years, I mean, once it's 30, you should probably take it for serious thing, you know. And that's the way I feel about that, because um I feel like we need to put in mind the idea of more checkup, of checking up our health some more. As an advocate for health, as SDG 3, under the United Nations SDG 3, as an advocate for SDG 3 good health, I feel like one of the things that are killing us or killing people is that people don't pay attention to their health, and by the time they do, it's too late, because most of the things that actually hurt people are things that if it was taken note early, it would have been detected and treated. So we wait till it is too late before we start doing that, and at the end of the day we tell ourselves that something happened, you don't know. So you probably must have been seeing the sign. And this is why on this video I want to encourage everyone to get an HMO. Please get yourself an HMO. It's an health insurance. If you have it at your workplace, you can tell your boss if you've not been using yours, because what you just need to do is register to an hospital close to you under the HMO, and you can always go there for checkups. You can do your test, you can do the complete, you can do a mammogram. I mean, depends on what your HMO is saying. But I'm going to be dropping more offers on HMO by January, because it's part of my plans for the new year, to make sure that people are more self-aware of their own health and how we can actually get good health. It is so underrated. It is so underrated. So that is another thing, and I hope that this will really help someone. Okay, so now that we've talked about this, what's the next thing we want to talk about? Okay, so let's talk about 2026 being a year of upgrade. So now, if you know me, if you see most of the video I did in 2024, you would notice that most of my video I had makeup on. If you notice 2023, yes, of course, I had some makeup on. But if you notice the videos I did 2025, I hardly have any makeup on. And I can count. I think I did makeup on my birthday this year, and that was it. That was the only time I did makeup this year. February 2025 was the only time I did makeup this year. And towards the end of the year, I said, you know what, 2026, I decided though at the beginning of this year that I just wanted to moisturize my face and use natural products on my body alone. I stopped organic, I stopped everything like that. So I just focused on 2025, just moisturizing and doing all of that. And at the end of the year, as the year was coming to an end, I decided, you know what, I want 2026 to be a bit different, and I want it to be my upgrade. I target the upgrade year though, the upgrade year, because we are upgrading our looks, our life, and we are doing it intentionally. So honestly, I recently took my ATM card and I went straight to get a new set of makeup kits. I think I spent quite a number of money. It wasn't a lot because I didn't get a lot of expensive products. But I know I spent about 120k on just makeup. And I wanted to talk about women looking put together, because the way we are dressed is the way we are dressed. I feel like, especially for women in their 30s, because a lot of us also sort of just slack up, once we look 30, we start looking 30. And if you start seeing women these days and age, you notice that a lot of women look younger. A lot of older ladies don't even look. I recently saw someone in her 60s, and I was like, what the? Are you telling me this woman is 60? I promise you she looked 30. And I'm like, this is beautiful, right? And it's just a bit of thing about how you can put pieces together, how you can do your makeup. Oh, guess what happened today? See this makeup you're seeing on my face? It's the second makeup I did today. The first makeup I did today is Sunday, by the way, so I went to church, and this is my church wear. It's Max and Spencer autographs collection. I really love this dress. I really love it. So I did my makeup, and then it broke. So I had to clean the entire thing and start all over again. And start all over again. So this is the makeup. So it's the process of me also saying that, okay, it's been a while, I'm rusty, but I'm gonna keep doing it and I'm gonna get better at it. But then look at my makeup. Look, I'm telling you, I'm not even using filter. Look at my makeup. And I want to talk about dressing better. I feel like, have you ever been somewhere? This happened to me though. I was waiting for a woman to come out of a shop. I wanted to buy something. I think this was last year, 2024. And this was last year, not this year. And I was waiting for this woman. So a man came and was trying to call the woman. There's a lady here. There's a woman here trying to. For a moment, it made me feel good because all my life I'd been addressed as a girl. So at that point, I realized there has been a shift. And now this year, I noticed that there's been a shift. You're not gonna call me a woman. You're gonna call me. There's a lady waiting for you. So I'm intentional about dressing up, about what I wear, putting pieces together, finding the right outfit, and importantly, sometimes all you might have might just be 10 outfits. But if there are clothes that really complement your body, it won't show that you don't have a lot of clothes because you'll be able to mix it. So I hope this video encourages you that you should find a clothes that actually fits your body. You need to know your style. Maybe in the next coming videos, I'm going to be sharing more tips on how to find your style, knowing what suits you, what fits your body, what's your kind of body style, what you should wear. But I have a lot of ladies telling me that, and I get a lot of compliments from ladies particularly telling me how good I look when I dress up. So, and I'm gonna be sharing tips with you on how to do that. Okay, so let's talk about love, possibilities of finding love in 2026. I don't know about you, but today I randomly found myself saying that, oh, my wedding next year. So yeah, I'm speaking into existence. 2026 bride, where are we? Yay, hey, gimme. 2026 bride, we are coming. We're gonna be using some of the best and the best and the best and the best. Anyway, we don't know yet, Sha, but God is on the throne. But I want to talk about finding waiting on God. Sometimes you see the period of waiting is one of the most hardest periods ever. I'm there. I can tell you how difficult it is. Sometimes I just want my man. I promise you, most times these days, I don't think God designed us to be single at 30 though, because what the heck is the name of that hormone? I know you get what I mean. I just want my man, but then there's a scripture God gave me. I have never shared it on screen. I think I have, but it has never really moved. It's Ezekiel 16. I want you to take your time to read that scripture, and I think I'm going to do more video where I just talk more about Ezekiel 16. Ezekiel 16, the early part was talking about a girl that was abandoned, thrown out of the field, and then God passed by and it saw the child screaming in its blood, and he told the child leave, and the child lived, and it grew, and the egg grew, and the child was it was I mean the child grew and the breast was formed. And then I passed by again and I saw that it was time for love, and I took you and I put my skirt over you and you became mine, and I entered into a covenant with you, and I cleaned up your blood and I anointed you, and I can go on and on. That scripture spoke to me. That is my scripture. And every time I remember at the end of that scripture, God said, allow me to walk on you. Was it the same moment when I cleaned, that I anointed, that I dressed you up, that I put a ring on your nose, put jewelry on your neck? And I said, no, it was a person. I was like, let me do that work. And I'm like, okay. And he told me, like, as I'm working on you, best believe that I'm working on the person I'm giving you to, because I have to give you to someone who can handle you very well. And I was like, oh yeah, God, I get you, but you know, I don't want a random guy. I just don't want another guy that will not marry, will still be strong. And he was like, who does the queen marry? And I was like, a queen get married to a king. He said, exactly. And that word came from that scripture, because down that scripture you see where it says that my glory was so much on you and you became like a queen. Behold, you became a queen. So those are the words I hold on to, and I know that my king is coming. So when you see me pull up with a ring, know that I am getting married to a king. Anyway, that's like some of the word, and this is just an encouragement to you. Like, maybe the reason why you're anxious, maybe the reason why you're not settled is probably because you haven't given God that part of your life. Maybe because you haven't laid it down at his feet, because it is possible for you to still hold on to. I remember one time there's this guy I really, really liked, and I was always like, oh my god, this guy, I really liked him. And it was during this period, because I was just going through an outbreak, and I held on to the carcass of that relationship, and told me, release what is in your hands. And I was like, oh my god, God, this guy was close to perfect. I didn't think I'm going back to that street of dating. It's crazy out there. It's so old. The dating world is so old. And it was like, if you don't let go of what's in your hand, how can place the new one on it? And maybe that's the word for you. Maybe because you're still holding on to something and you're not letting go yet. See, if you're holding on to this phone, and God is saying that, hey, I have something for you. Where should I put it? And you're like, just put it here, and say, but there's a phone in your hand. Yeah, but just put it here. I can hold everything. And God's saying, no, drop this one, so that I can give you the blessing I have prepared for you. So maybe that's the word. Maybe that's the word, because girl, we are all in this waiting game. Oh. And please, if anybody have intel early, please connect with me. Anyways, moving into the new year 2026, I would like to ask myself some few questions, like, what are the things I feel like I do that I wouldn't be going to the new year with? I think it's oversharing. I'm a sweetheart. I promise you, I'm a darling, and I have no dull moment. And you're probably gonna love me the moment we start talking. So, guess what? I will overshare. Before I know, I've said something that I'm not supposed to say, and I'm like, oh my god. I mean, it doesn't put me in trouble, and then I'll feel like, why do I have to tell this person this much? But then I'll be like, okay. For 2026, I'll be more conscious not to overshare. Okay, so the next question is, what did I survive that I don't talk about enough? Okay, I think I survived myself. Yes, I survived myself this year because, guy, I'm an overthinker. I overthink everything. I would overanalyze, and it would cripple me before I even move. But one thing I survived this year was that I don't talk about enough is how I now I sabotage the self sabotage. If that's a word. I still think deeply, but now I know to move. I know that I no longer let my thoughts paralyze my actions. I move anyway. So that's a beautiful one, and I'm glad I'm able to survive that. Question 2 is, what version of me am I refusing to carry into the new year? Oh, the version of me that overshares. I overshare. Darling, I am such a sweetheart. I promise you, we're talking, we're just about something, trying to analyze, trying to use the scripture. Before you know it, I'm saying the things I'm not supposed to say about myself. And I get home and I'm like, oh my god, why did I have to say that? I do that. But this new season, I'm gonna make sure that nobody have that much access to me and my story, except if you're paying for it. I can overshare, but if you're not paying. The third thing, let's talk about money. How are you planning to make more this year? I am so planning to grow my finances this year, either by force or by crook. What I know is I'm not gonna do anything that dishonors God or dents the name of God. But oh my God, I am so down to making money this year. I'm open. I'm gonna be investing more. I'm going to be spending below my means. I really need to do that and cut my coat lesser than my size. It's just like you're gonna be seeing me wear a lot of jumper because I'm cutting my coat lesser than my size. But that's also the thing. I'm gonna be investing more. I'm trying to build my portfolio this year. That kind of thing. building generational wealth, because I'm trying to work harder, not for my kids. People will say that my children, my future kids, does not have to suffer. Me myself, I'm a baby and I'm not meant to suffer. So I'll work hard for myself first, so that the mom can be taken care of enough to take care of the kids when they finally come. Okay, so next question will be, who deserves more access to you and who deserves less? Oh my god, who deserves more access to me and who deserves less access to me? My dear, I'm reciprocating this year. If you give me 1, I'll give you 9. I'll give you 0.7, because that energy used to give me 1. I have to take some back to reciprocate. So I'll give you 0.7. If you give me 5, I'll give you 3. If you give me 10, I'll give you 8. If you give me 100, you give me 100, I'll give you 100. If you give me an 80, I'll give you an 80. If you give me a 50, I'll give you a 40. If you give me a 30, I'll give you a 10. Let's all be mad. Okay, to be fair. I'm going to be protecting my peace a lot this year. I'm not open to anything that is taking me out of alignment, out of growth, and out of character. Anything that makes me raise my voice this year has to go. Anything that has me overthinking, analyzing, trying to do police work, figuring out, is that what it meant? Is that what she meant? I'm out. Any friendship that wants to take me out of my natural habitat, I'm out. Any kind of relationship we are relationshiping that is not giving me peace of mind, I'm out. Anything that is not growing me, adding to me, I'm out. If you're stingy with your time, your energy, your emotions, your affections, your resources, I'm out. If you don't honor women, I'm out. If you're loud and condescending, I'm out. If you don't love God and you don't pray and you don't have a relationship with God, I'm out. If you are tired always and you are lazy and you are looking for a shortcut out, I'm out. If you are always talking about, I want money, I need money, I need money, I need money, may you not use me, you do ritual, I'm. Who are you quietly becoming, or who are you becoming quietly? Not for validation, no, and not loudly, but for me, I think I'm becoming better. I don't want to say new year, new me. I think new year, better me. I'm becoming more disciplined. I'm becoming more focused. I'm more aligned, and importantly, I am very much more self-aware. I feel like that's the most sexy thing about me right now. I'm so self-aware. Anyways, honestly, I just thought I wanted to do a video where I was gonna sit in front of the camera and talk about random things. I've spoken so much, my mouth hurts, but I enjoyed the time I spent with myself. Now, moving on, I want to say this. I had this dream, not a dream. Let me give you guys the gist. I think I would use this. I will call this out as a different video. Yeah, this gist. Years ago, I was dating a guy. I can't remember his name. I can't remember where he is. I mean, I can't remember. I don't know where he is or anything about him at this point. But I dated this guy that it was good initially. Then at the point we were having issues, and that issues was crazy because like I said, I was so hot-headed. If I had gotten married earlier, I would have broken up. I was so hot-headed that if you say what, I'll give you back, that kind of thing. And in the middle of this conversation, back and forth, this guy was yabbing me. I was giving him back. You point to my bad habit, I'll point to your bad habit. You say I do this, I'll say you do that. And it was so frustrated because everything was saying wasn't landing. And he looked at me and was like, he's gonna go. I said, just get the heck out, like get out my life and all this kind of thing. And him trying to really, really hurt me, he said a word to me, and he said, "You're just a little bitch with big dreams." This thing I'm saying is over 7 years ago. Over. And I mean it, over 7 years ago. And that word stuck with me because how is that an insult? How do you expect that to pain me? Because after he said, I was like, yes, thank you. Thank God, I have a big dream. But after he was done talking and after he was gone, I thought about it and I was like, this guy called me a little bitch with big dreams. That word stayed with me. And now that I am grown and I've met Christ, I want to announce that I'm using that word to start a podcast, and it is going to call Little Beans with Big Dreams. Can I have the drum roll? Yeah. It's actually called Little Beans with Big Dreams. And on this podcast, I would love for us to just talk about having big dreams, achieving it, just having the seed of idea and bringing it to life. I'm going to be having guests on this show. I'm going to be having people here. I mean, it's going to be funny because I've actually tried announcing different shows that never take place. But this, I I just reconnected back with one of my old friends. And I promise you, she's been pushing and gingering me and saying that, Fredlin, you should do this. Fredlin, you should do this. Fredlin, this is what you're supposed to do. You should do a podcast. You should do it. So finally, we're here and we are doing this podcast. So, if you have stuck with me to the end of this video talking about women in their 30s not having babies, no having, let me do this. So, I know the usual video that people want to see is this. I'm over 30 years old. I don't have a husband. I don't have kids. What kind of life am I living? These days, we're flipping the scripts. Over 30 women are building houses, we're building businesses, we're traveling around the world, we are having kids with our fathers. I'm not advocating for that though, but it's happening, and we are living our best lives. Thank you for joining me today, and it's your girl Firewoman, and I will be here the next time. I don't know when the next time is going to be, and I hope it's not as far. I hope it's not far. I hope it's soon, because I promise you, my work life, we're resuming back into the new year, and I know that it's going to be. Anyways, thank you all for joining. Thank you for watching to this. If you watch to this end, right now I'm trying to wrap my head around what kind of gift I can give you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.